Welcome back to another episode of the Trey Ball Podcast. I'm your host, Ethan, and I'm joined by my co-host, RJ and Jalil. Y'all say what's up to the people, man.
Yo.
What's going on?
How was y'all's past week? And how y'all feeling? So y'all, back home now. We can see in the cameras, y'all both back home from college. So how are y'all feeling about to be on y'all spring break?
Pretty good. Relaxed. Ready to talk some ball. My Celtics are on a 10-game winning streak. Something like that. So I'm feeling good. I'm feeling real good.
I feel good, man. I get to finally chill. Get to sleep in my bed. So.
Oh, that's the best feeling.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we got an action-packed episode for y'all. We got a nice big draft going on for y'all today. But before we get into that and a couple of other things, I'm gonna ask y'all to like the video for us, subscribe if you're new. If y'all like this type of content, continue to watch us. We upload every Monday. New podcast every Monday at 12 p.m. Eastern time, and then we also have a TikTok and Instagram. So you'll go over there. We have some other shorts content over there. So y'all go over there and give that a check. Check that out too. And without further ado, we can go ahead and get into this. We can go ahead and start off before we get into the bulk of the episode. We have I figure we can go ahead and mention the Bucks. The Bucks, they've been figuring it out under Doc Rivers. They're 5-0 since the All-Star break. So they haven't lost since the All-Star break. And I was saying when we were in the All-Star break, I said it's going to give them a chance to figure it out. Help, because at the end of the day, I do think Doc Rivers is still a good NBA head coach. This gives them a chance to see what he has, figure everything out with his team, and they're 5-0. They've beaten up on teams that they should beat. For that matter. They haven't played anybody necessarily good yet, but all their wins, they've been taking care of business, and all their wins have been 30-point wins. They've been taking care of business, but they are about to go on a tough road trip. They're about to play the Clippers, they're playing the Lakers, the Warriors. I believe they play the Thunder here in a couple of days. The Nuggets. They have a tough road trip ahead. So I wanted to see how y'all what are y'all seeing with the Bucks as over the past couple of days and past couple of weeks, I should say. And how do you think they're going to end up? Y'all see them as a real title threat right now?
I think in the East, you can go, Roger. Yeah.
All right, cool. I see them as, yes, they're a threat. Well, let me address this first. They're playing good basketball right now. They beat who they're supposed to beat. They beat the Timberwolves, so that's a good one for them. And are they a title contender? Yes, I think there's only about 3 real contenders out east right now. Being the Celtics, the Cavs, and the Bucks. So are they? Are they contenders? Yes. How confident am I in them beating the Celtics in a 7-game series? Not very. But as far as right now, they're playing good basketball. I'll be interested to see how we feel about this conversation, next week once they've had this little road trip. But yeah, they're not playing. They're playing good basketball. I'm happy that they got the ship righted, and like you said, it was only a matter of time before they got back on track. I knew Doc Rivers wasn't going to let them go. Fall behind like that. So it was only a matter of time before they got right. So kind of expected.
Yeah, I'm with RJ.
How are you feeling about them?
I'm with RJ. Over the past 5 games, it's good basketball. And then one thing I noticed, Malik Beasley and Bobby Portis, over the past 5 games, they've been, I ain't gonna say really good, but they've been solid players. Really solid options. And with the East, I think they should be in the conference finals, in my opinion. To be Boston and Milwaukee.
They should. Yeah, they've been playing a lot better basketball. One thing that I've noticed is their defense has seemed a bit better. And they're shooting. Their offense isn't necessarily stats wise. I don't think it's necessarily better, but they've been, in my opinion, I think it's better as well because they've been shooting more threes. You got guys like Malik Beasley taking a lot more catch and shoot threes. Bobby Portis. That's part of the reason why I agree with you, Jalil. That I think Malik Beasley and Bobby Portis both have been better because they've been taking just more easy shots, catch and shoots. Giannis and Dame 2-man game has been decent. They've definitely been better, but I just want to let y'all know their next couple of games. All right, so tomorrow they're playing the Clippers, and then they got the Warriors, and they got the Lakers, then they got the Clippers again, then they got the Kings, and they got the Sixers, and then they got the Celtics. That's a tough road trip.
Yeah.
All teams that can quite frankly beat them. You know, the Warriors and Lakers, they're playing teams, but they're teams that have been hot as of late. Specifically the Warriors and the Lakers, they've been off and on, but they've been a good team. And then the Clippers have been a good team. We've been slow as of late, but we know how they've been this season. They got to play them twice. The Kings have been really good. Shout out Malik Monk for the other day. Like 30-something points in a span of 20 minutes. It was absurd.
Yeah.
And then the Sixers, although they're without, that should be a win for them without Joel Embiid, but then they got to go into Boston, play Boston at home. That's going to be a huge game for them if they can beat Boston at home. But yeah, it's a tough road trip, and this is really going to show, how this team can play. And if they can come out of this road trip with a positive record, if they can come out of like this 7-game span with like 5-2, I'd be real happy if I'm a Bucks fan, because I think that shows that they can really come into these playoffs and really show out, because they are, like you said, they are the competition for the Celtics at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And they are the team that, in my opinion, they're the only team that I think can beat the Celtics.
You don't think Cleveland could do it?
I think they could, but I think Milwaukee definitely has a way higher chance, because the Cavs aren't as good as a matchup. The Celtics aren't stopping Giannis. The Celtics can really put those their defenders on their main guards, like Donovan, Cleveland's main guards, like Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland. But Celtics aren't doing nothing to stop Giannis. I don't care about no Al Horford. It's not happening. They aren't stopping Giannis. All right, Kristaps Porzingis. He's not stopping Giannis.
We saw it happen before.
We saw what happened before, and now, but Al Horford's 2 years older since then, and Giannis is better than ever.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
So, Kristaps might be able to help do his thing, but I think Giannis would be dominate and be the best player in that series, and that really gives the Celtics a chance. Or I'm sorry, the Bucks a chance. Whereas in the Cavs, Jason Tatum would be the best player in that series. Probably, maybe Donovan Mitchell could be, but he has a lot on his shoulders, and a lot of great defenders are going to be on him, pestering him every night.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
But now that we shouted out the Bucks, we can go ahead and get into the bulk of the episode. The draft. So, like I said, how we're doing this is it's a playoff team draft. So, we are each going to be drafting 6 teams for a total of 18 teams total. And it's going to be a serpentine draft. So, whoever gets the first pick, then whoever gets the last pick, I should say, they get back-to-back picks. And we basically we're going to come back to this a couple months from now and see who won. Because basically, if I draft a team, I want to draft a team that I think is going to go far. Obviously, at the beginning, I want a team that I think is going to win the championship. So if I draft the Celtics and they end up winning the championship, I get, 4 points off of that?
Yeah.
They get to the second round, that's a point. They get to the conference finals, that's another point. They get to the finals, that's another point. They win the finals, that's another point. Right? So the more series the team wins, the more points we're going to get. And we'll come back to this a couple months later and see how we did. But basically, that's how we want to do. So once we get into the later rounds, we're getting into teams that we don't think are going to win championships necessarily, but this team's like, maybe this team could get an upset, or maybe this team could end up getting to the second round, right? So that's basically what we want to go off of. How do we want to do? Who decides who gets the first pick?
I'll go last.
You want to go last?
Hmm?
Jalil wants to go last.
Yeah, okay. I'll go last.
How about this? I'm going to do a wheel spin. I'll do a quick wheel spin.
Okay. Let's do it.
And I'll put our 3 names on it. And y'all won't be able to see it. But I got all of our initials on there. I'm going to spin. And whoever it lands on first, will get the first pick.
All right. I need some integrity, Ethan.
And it landed on Jalil. So Jalil has the first pick.
Okay.
Jalil has the first pick, so now it's between me and RJ. I'm spinning the wheel. And it landed on me, so I have the second pick. So RJ has the last pick. He's where he wanted to be. Jalil has the first pick. I have the second pick. So I'll go. So I will do it. Jalil will have the first pick, and then it'll be serpentine. So I'll have second. Jaleel will have or RJ will have back to back, and so forth.
Ethan, you're low-key in the best position.
You think so?
Yeah, we'll see though.
All
right, we'll see.
Without a doubt.
Well, you got to think Ethan's still going to get one of the top 2 teams, and he'll be able to get like the middle of whoever we didn't pick. I guess last is kind of.
I like last too. I don't know. I don't think there's really necessarily a bad or a best spot to be. I think we're all in really good spots.
All right,
but if you're ready, Jaleel, you can go ahead and get us started with your first pick.
I mean, I think the obvious choice is Boston. I don't think I got.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Fair enough. That is the team that is the favorite to win the championship. So, Boston is off the board. They were number 1 on my big board. Probably number 1 on everybody else's. With the number 2 pick, this one's a little bit tough because I'm going to take a team out from out west, and I believe that this team could win it all. But I also believe this team could end up going out in the second round. But I think they're a safe choice.
I know you're going to pick.
Take it to at least the conference finals. I'm going to go with the Denver Nuggets.
That's a good pick.
Last year's champions. I think I'm going to assume they're the West favorites right now. They've been playing really good basketball. They have arguably the best player in the league on their team. So I'm going to take Denver at number 2. But this leaves RJ in a great spot because he can get 2 title contenders right here.
All right. Give me the Clippers. Give me the Clippers.
Okay.
See, I'm going to feel like an idiot not picking 1 and 2 out west, right? But because you figure both of them won't lose early. But give me the Clippers and give me the Bucks.
That's fair enough. That was my 3. If I was picking last, that's who I would have picked.
Yeah,
that was my 3 and 4 on my big board. So everything so far for me has been going. I had Bucks at number 3. I had Denver at number 2, obviously on my big board. I had Bucks at number 3 and Clippers at number 4. I think I get what you're saying about number 1 and number 2 in the West, but I feel like those are also teams who could make a push, but they could also go out early.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sure Jaleel doesn't like to hear that, considering that's one of those teams is OKC. But I'll be honest with y'all, Minnesota is not that high on my big board.
Really?
I still have a couple more teams above them.
Okay.
And I guess that brings me to my next pick. Number 5. These guys are number 5 on my big board. I'm going to go with OKC Thunder. Okay. I believe I have more faith in them than I do the Timberwolves.
Okay.
So OKC is going to be my next pick. I know you wanted me to pick somebody else, Jaleel. You wanted OKC.
OKC was my next pick. I'm going to go with a bit of surprise here just because I feel like this team can go to the second round at least. I'm going to go with Dallas.
I like that pick. I like that pick selfishly because I wasn't going to pick them. And I like that pick as far as
Dallas. Well, you have back-to-back picks, Jaleel. So you got Dallas was not that high on my big board. I'll be honest. Dallas was all the way at number 12 on my big board.
Oh, back-to-back. Shit. That case, give me... shit. God, I might get first rounded, though. Fuck. I feel like the rest of the teams can get first rounded. Like, it's possible.
Yeah.
Just because of what I think they can do with the main 3 that they have. Give me Phoenix.
That's a good choice too.
Okay, Phoenix. Phoenix was also not. They were actually pretty decently high on big board, but I definitely have a couple other teams above them. So Dallas and Phoenix. So right now, just for a quick recap, we got Jaleel with Boston, Dallas, and Phoenix. RJ with the Clippers and the Bucks, and I have Denver and the Thunder.
Picking Denver and Phoenix is dangerous because one day I got to play each other right now. The playoffs started today. They have to play each other in the first round.
But those are also both teams that I feel like are teams that could maybe mess around and win the championship.
Yeah.
So teams like the T-Wolves maybe who are we assume is going to win their first round series, a guaranteed point. To whereas, teams like that could be no points at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now it's on me. I'm in a bit of a predicament here because I see. They're still the T-Wolves are still on the board.
I know who I want. The
T-Wolves are still on the board, but I have another team that I have another team that's above them on my big board.
Really?
I want to take. I do.
Ooh.
I'm torn between these two teams, and I think I'm going to go with the team that I have higher than them. I'm gonna pick up Cleveland. I have Cleveland one spot above of Minnesota on my big board, and I'm gonna go with them just because I feel like if I'm thinking in terms of winning a championship, I know I gotta think about points in general, but if I think in terms of winning a championship, I can see Cleveland winning it more so than I can see Minnesota winning it. So for that reason, I'm gonna go Cleveland.
That's fair. I'm kind of playing off points, right? Because Jalil picked the Mavericks, right?
Right.
Now, honestly, could I see the Mavericks beating Minnesota in a first-round series? I have to say no. So I'm going to pick Minnesota in hopes to win some points because I just couldn't see them losing a first-round series against an 8 seed. I just couldn't see it happening. And then after that, it gets a little shiesty.
It does.
I'll go. Damn, I don't want to do that because they got. Give me the Knicks.
Okay, that's a good pick. So you're picking up the T-Wolves and the Knicks.
Yeah.
I think those are both great picks.
Yeah.
That was 7 and 8 on my big board.
I feel like there's definitely better teams than the Knicks, but I don't want to pick two teams that are going to have to play each other because then it's like I'm going to lose points.
Well, we don't know they're going to play each other yet.
I guess. Yeah, I guess. I mean, play each other in the first round at least. Like it would be terrible if Jalil had to lose points because Phoenix had to play Denver. That would be like
right. Dang, I'm liking RJ's team a lot right now. He's got the Clippers, Bucks, Wolves, and Knicks. RJ's in a great spot. I guess I got the next pick. I guess I'm gonna have to go. So there's a team I have on here. And they're not a high seed right now. They're a 6 seed right now, I believe. And I feel like I'd be dumb not to pick them up. Just with they've been hot recently.
They're not going to do it again.
We know what happens during the playoffs. Jimmy Butler turns into another monster. I'm gonna pick up Miami, man. I'm gonna pick up Miami.
Of course you are.
I don't like doing it, but at this point, I mean, what other teams do I have that I feel like that's not going to get that? I mean, the rest of the teams that I have, I feel like this is the team that's
I would have chose
fit,
Orlando.
So I'm not choosing Orlando over Miami.
Well, first off, I think whoever gets the 6th seed has a better shot because I think eventually the Bucks are going to get back to that 2 seed, and then whoever has the 6th seed is going to end up having to play the Cavaliers, which is a better shot than having to play the Bucks. I think
that is true, but I think Miami is in that 6th seed right now.
Sure,
they would have to play the Bucks, but we saw what happened last year. And this is a team that every time we doubt them, they end up getting to the finals somehow. So for that reason alone, I'm just going to go ahead because there's always that chance of them making a push for some reason, a conference finals push.
Yeah.
So for that reason alone, even though they're as of right now, well, they'll be going against the Bucks right now, and I don't think they'll beat the Bucks in the first round. But for that, because it's Miami, I'm gonna pick them up.
That's fair.
It's on you, Jalil. Back-to-back picks.
Miami was going to be my pick, but.
Makes sense.
Not a lot of great choices left.
Now, there's one that ain't been picked yet that they got a historic guy on their team. Just broke a new record.
I know what he's talking about.
Yeah. Okay. And it's banking on the fact that they get into playoffs. Like it's really hitting on the fact that they get into playoffs.
They're low on my big board.
That's not who I thought you were gonna pick.
They're a lot. They're on my big board, but they're low.
Yeah. Also, it's really banking on the fact that they actually get in the playoffs.
That's risky.
It is. But I mean, I picked Dallas. That's a risk. So give me
Dallas. Yeah. They're risky as right now too.
First one, give me the Lakers, and they might play each other. Fuck. Well, they will if the playoffs start.
Oh wow.
I'll go out east and give me. Give me the Pacers. I was debating between the Pacers and
the
That's
interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Both those teams were really low on my big board just because these are both teams that one. It's a question if they'll even make it in. I think Indiana will make it in for sure.
Yeah,
but they're not gonna. I don't know if there's even a chance that they win their first round series.
Yeah,
unless they play the Bucks somehow, and the Bucks end up moving up because they were the Bucks kryptonite this season. But ONL playoff is different. There's one team that I have on my big board, kind of high, but they're at 11 on my big board, and it's Philly. I'm not saying I'm taking Philly. But the problem is, the reason I put him so high on my big board over teams, I put him over teams like Dallas, over like the Lakers, over Indiana, because there's still that chance of Joel Embiid coming back. And if Joel Embiid does come back, this is a team that can win a playoff series.
Yeah.
But if he doesn't come back, we know there's no chance that they're winning. So it's very risky taking them. That's why I honestly, and I don't think Joel's going to come back, so I'm not going to take them.
Ooh, Ethan, you can't troll me like that. I thought it fell right in my hands what I wanted, bro.
No, there's a couple teams on here, but I think I'm going to pick up this team, and just for the fact that they're a lock for playoffs right now, I'm going to pick up the Pelicans.
That's a good choice.
They're a 5 seed right now, and they're going against. As of right now, they would be going against They would be going against the Clippers. I don't know I doubt that's how it's going to finish because the West is so tight right now. But they are a team that seem they've been playing good. They seem to be a playoff lock at this point. So I'm going to pick them over teams like Sacramento or Golden State, even just because this is a team that is for sure going to be in the playoffs. So I'm going to pick up the Pelicans.
It's a good choice.
But Mr. RJ, you are coming in with your last 2 picks.
I think the East is a little tighter outside of the Celtics, really, that people understand. If the Magic win 2 games and the Sixers lose 2 games, the Magic will be in the 5 seed. Or the 4 seed. They can really be in the 4 seed in a week. So, give me Orlando. I think they can make some noise just depending where they get at. I think if they can get a first round series against a banged up Sixers team, I can see them winning that.
Yeah.
Ooh, after that, it gets ugly. All right. Let's go to the Western Conference. I think there's an obvious choice. I think I got to go Sacramento. I think that's the best.
I think that's the choice.
Yeah.
Because with Sacramento, we know they're a good team. We saw them in the playoffs last year, and they're a team that's been decent as of late as well, and they're a team that could upset a team like the T-Wolves in the first round. I think.
Exactly. And then you never know, like if the Pelicans keep moving up. So say the Pelicans get to the 4 seed, right? Never mind. I couldn't see them getting to the 5 seed. I couldn't see the Clippers playing bad enough to fall out of that. So it'll be, but like, if to be fair though, if we had to say that's why we were also tentative to pick those number 1 and number 2 seed because they're inexperienced. And I think that if there was a team that was going to go down in the first round, it would either be the Timberwolves or the Thunder, and that's who the Kings are slotted to play right now.
I think it'd be the Timberwolves.
Yeah, so we could definitely see that happen.
So far, every team on my big board has been selected. I was just hoping and waiting one of y'all was going to pick somebody that wasn't. I didn't have on my big board because that would have been wild. Because the teams that that's two teams I have left are Philly and the Warriors, and I'm torn because Golden State, they've been playing great ball recently, but they're also a 9 seed, so they would have to beat the Lakers, who Jaleel selected, and then beat Dallas or Sacramento.
You could play for points right now. You could pick the Warriors and kind of try to all or nothing it for Jaleel.
I could, But Philly, man, Philly's my other team I have in here. Philly, as of right now, is still the 5 seed, but they could be in a couple of days. They could be the 8th seed, right? It's like you said, like you were just talking about. It's they all 4 through 8 all have the same amount of wins right now, so it's tough. Oh man! But if Joel Embiid comes back, I know that's a team that can win a first round series. Whereas the Warriors, I don't think get out of the first round even if they do make the playoffs.
Yeah.
So for that reason, I'm going to go with Philly.
All right. Joel.
Oh, still got a pick left.
Yeah, one more pick.
I mean, hell, it's only one.
Yeah, it's like 2 teams to pick from, really.
Yeah. Unless I go with Brooklyn or
Really
Toronto.
just one.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brooklyn or Atlanta or Chicago.
Mainly your picks right now or
Chicago,
Atlanta.
If they win a playing game, does that count as a point?
I don't think so. No.
Just pick the Warriors.
Well, I'll say this: it counts. It counts as a point if they're in the playoffs, right? So
does it?
Yeah, but like all the playoff teams will count as 1 point.
Okay.
So like the Celtics will still count as 1 point. Get it just being in there already. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So I guess technically, if the Lakers got to the 8th seed, they would count as a point.
So if the Lakers win the 2 playing games, I don't get 2.
You don't get 2. You get a point for them winning being in there.
That's the only option.
Yeah, that was the only team on my big board. I actually had them a little bit higher than Indiana and Orlando on my big board, but that's because that's a team that I theoretically could see. I don't think they will, but there's a team that more likely, in my opinion, to make it deep. But that'll do it. Finishing out with Golden State, and that leaves us with our teams. RJ having the Los Angeles Clippers, the Milwaukee Bucks, Minnesota Timberwolves, New York Knicks, Orlando Magic, and Sacramento Kings.
Ooh.
I have the Denver Nuggets, the OKC Thunder, the Cleveland Cavaliers, Miami Heat, New Orleans Pelicans, and Philadelphia 76ers. Jalil has the Boston Celtics, Dallas Mavericks, Phoenix Suns, Los Angeles Lakers, Indiana Pacers, and Golden State Warriors. I think this honestly could be pretty even. I think if I had to choose somebody's team as of right now, I would. It's tough because it really depends on how the matchups go. I like RJ's team a lot because he does. But if somehow the Bucks and Knicks end up going against each other, which I don't think will happen, but if that did happen, that would definitely mess his points up. But as far as teams to win a championship as well, I think. What teams do y'all think can really have an actual chance to win a championship? Let me ask y'all that.
Boston.
Yeah.
Milwaukee. Denver. The Clippers.
That's it for you?
I might be out, yeah.
What about you, Jalil? You're only 4?
Boston, Clippers, Nuggets, Bucks. I think it's hard not to say the Suns because if you look at it, hell, if there's a series where KD,
very true.
Yeah. So Suns, and I'm gonna be biased and say the Thunder. Yeah.
I honestly think the Thunder could win it, man. I do. I'm a believer in the Thunder, man. Yeah. We talked about this last week too, but I think the Thunder could win it.
All right.
Well, but if we go off of those main 4 teams, RJ has 2 of them. Me and Jalil have 1. Obviously, he picked 3rd, so that kind of helped him with that. But the main 4 we all agreed on was Clippers, Bucks, Denver, and Boston. So RJ does have the two teams that could end up meeting in the championship. That would definitely help him a lot. Yeah. But I don't know. This is definitely, I think, honestly, pretty even, all things considered. We come back to this in a couple months and see. But yeah, I like it, and I hope that OKC does make a run. And like I said, I think I agree with Jalil that I think OKC is a real title threat. And
the thing is, I'm sorry to cut you off. The thing is, it sounds good, but I can see OKC coming out the West. Well, I couldn't see them beating either of the top two teams from the East. They're not beating us, and they're not beating the Bucks. So I guess they could come out the West, but then they're just going to lose in the finals.
Would that not be a success for them?
I mean, that's great for them, amazing. But you ask who I think could really win the finals, and I don't think
so. You're basically, okay. But you don't think if a team gets to the finals, they don't have a chance to win it?
I know they're not beating us in a 7-game series. I know they're not beating us, beating the Bucks in a 7-game series.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you on that. That's a fair point.
I mean, yeah, with injury it could happen, but like, I still think the Celtics without Drew Holiday is better than them. I still think the Celtics without Porzingis is a better team than the Thunder.
So Drew Holiday and Porzingis?
No.
Oh,
I mean, like, if Tatum goes down, we're still better than y'all.
Yeah, but
I'm gonna say this. Yeah, y'all do have the better team, but the reason why I think the Thunder I think they would probably lose to the Celtics or the Bucks. But against the Celtics,
I already know what he's about to say. It's like I'm reading you like a book, bro.
Which team has who's the best player on the court?
Who's the best player? I saw it coming, Ethan. I saw it coming. But no, man, it's Jason Tatum, bro.
Okay. But
I know it is an argument, but
you're saying you think so that with the 4 teams, so you could see there is a world where like the 4 teams you said, there's a world where the Celtics beat the Clippers, the Nuggets, the 2 West teams you picked. But there's also a world where the Clippers or Nuggets beat them or the Bucks. That's pretty much what you're saying.
Yeah,
I get you, but you think there's no world where the Thunder beat a team like the Thunder beats any of those 2 teams out. I got you. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, that's our draft.
If it happened, it would have been crazy.
I would talk crazy too if some miracle ass shit like that happened. I would talk crazy.
Man,
is it a miracle or is it just unlikely?
It's like super miracleized. Like it would be the craziest shit that's happened in the NBA in like 20 years.
It would be crazy.
It would be crazy.
For a team that for its first, that's their first time making the playoffs since when? Like 2017.
Chris Paul.
No, so that was
2020.
Bubble. 2020. But I mean, with a whole new core of people that haven't been to the playoffs really, except for Lou Dort, and that's pretty much it. Lou Dort,
Mike Muscala,
I get like what the fuck, and them making the finals and then beating a juggernaut like us or the Bucks. No, they're not doing that shit, bro.
We'll see, but I do think this is going to happen, and I have the Clippers fan on. Everybody knows I'm a Clippers fan, but they haven't been the best as of recently since after the All-Star break.
Mm-hmm.
We lost a couple games we should have won. Lost to the Lakers, but I blew a 20-something point lead in the fourth quarter against the Lakers. We haven't been the best recently, but I'm still not there on the Clippers anymore. Like every year, I'm always like, oh yeah, we're gonna make something happen in the playoffs. This year, I'm not gonna be that. And if they surprise me, that's gonna be a great surprise. But it's gonna be poetic. I texted, I sent them a message in our group chat, and I told them I figured I'd say it on the podcast. What's gonna happen is, see, as of right now, we're OKC's the 2 seed, we're the 4 seed, but I'm gonna say this is what's gonna happen. We're gonna end up somehow either dropping or jumping up. And I think we'll actually jump up and end up taking the 3 seed. Okay. Well, I somehow, some way, or OKC actually is going to end up getting the 1 seed. That's a better prediction. OKC is going to get the 1 seed from Minnesota. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is going to win MVP. All right. And this was going to happen. OKC is going to take care of business against whoever in the first round. We'll end up winning in a fight against the Pelicans or the Suns or something. And then in the second round, by the team that has all of our picks and the team that we got one of our star players from and gave them their MVP player, we're going to lose to in the second round. And then they also have all of our picks and the player that beat us. Yeah, that's what's going to happen, and I'm going to be devastated.
I honestly, would that be hilarious to happen? Yes, that would be really fun. That'd be like a meme, honestly. But I couldn't see y'all losing in a 7-game series. I just couldn't see it happening.
If we lost them in a 7-game series, I would delete all my social media probably.
Would you go back to watching the EuroLeague like that one time?
Yeah, I would go watch the EuroLeague, bro. Find the next Luka, man. That'd be so devastating, man. In the memes and everything, like all the memes that are gonna come out of it. Oh, that's the most lopsided trade ever. Even though in that situation, 30 out of 30 GMs are doing that trade.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, that's a conversation for another time. But anyway, we can go ahead and move on to our question of the day segment. So I figured LeBron last night just broke the 40K points, first player in NBA history to do it. I figured why not we all take our guesses and just each name a couple of different players that we think could maybe also one day crack 40. We all know who RJ's going to say.
No, you have no clue.
He's probably at the top of our list as well. But I'll let you start this one off, Jalil.
There's 5. I picked 5 guys who I think could do it. The first 2, they're going to have to play until they're about 42. And it's KD and Steph. Yeah. I'll say KD needs like 11,000 more. Steph needs like 16,000 more. And yeah, if they play until they're like 43, 41-ish, I think they can get it.
I like that. I just don't think KD cares enough. I think that's the biggest problem.
I like those picks too, but I only have young guys on my list personally.
Yeah. I say also have Tatum, Book, and Luka. Yeah.
Those are your 5 guys?
I like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Why Devin Booker's not even really the guy I thought about.
Yeah.
What made you put him on the list over other guys?
Well, you look at it, he's 27, so if he's healthy, he could probably get to he's about 38, 39-ish, right? The same age LeBron is. And if he keeps averaging what he's averaging, I think he'll get it. Right now, he's averaging 27 and a half. So,
right.
And the way he plays, he's not likely to get like a crazy Achilles injury or anything. So I think it's possible. Yeah,
that's true.
And Luka, I think Luka's just enough as it is.
Luka's a given.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have 2 guys on my list are the same as yours. I have 4 guys on the list. Luka and Tatum I have as well. I think those are a given. Luka is a scoring machine. Tatum is a scoring machine. But the way both of them play, more so Tatum than Luka, I don't really see them getting any crazy injuries, and I can see them playing for a while. I also have 2 other guys on my list. One of them is Shea, actually. I have Shea on my list because, he's a 30-point per game scorer all the time. He is, 25 at this point?
I think he got going a little late, though, Ethan.
He did. But if he keeps averaging 30 for another however many years, it could happen. Now, I feel like he's less likely than the other guys. My number 1 guy, Art's going to love this, is Wemby. I have Wemby at number 1 just because I look at what he's already doing as a rookie. He's very young, and the one backlash is just, of course, injuries, but this is a guy who seems to really take care of his body well. And because of just how tall he is, he should be able to just get so many easy buckets. And he should be a guy that's able to average 30 eventually. If he has a real point guard, he should be a guy that, obviously we know we love all the dribbling he does, the pull-up threes, pull-up shots, but this should be a guy that's able to get half his points off of just easy lobs and dunks, if we're being honest. Because he's 7'4", 7'5". So, because of that, I have him as like my number 1 guy. But injuries could be a big problem for him.
Yeah.
Just because we know his height and his weight.
I like your list, Ethan. I think obviously I'm kind of going to say all the same guys y'all said for the most part. Book, Tatum, Luka, Shea could. I think he got started a little late, but Wemby. I think there's another guy I think we should keep our eyes open for, just because if you think about it, who has been averaging 27 points a game for the last 3 to 4 years? When you really think about it, think about the people that have done that. I know Ethan's not going to like this one. Trae Young could do it.
Oh, my God.
He's been averaging 27 points a game for like 4 years now, and with the unwavering as well. I think he could do it. He's young enough. He's only 25, right? He doesn't have any serious injuries on his body. Obviously, his frame is little, so, that's not great, for trying to, But he doesn't have any serious injuries. I guess Ant could probably do it, maybe. But other than that, I think all the young guys, and then obviously if KD gave a fuck, I think he'd be able to get it. But I don't think he'll play long enough.
I don't think KD will play long
My
enough.
real answer is nobody. But since we're having fun, I just gave you a list. But realistically, I saw a stat the other day, and it was like you either have to play for 21 years like LeBron did and average 27 points a game, or average 30 for 20 years. So no one's going to do that. It's like impossible. It's just not going to happen.
You can't get hurt. Like that's pretty much what it is.
You can never ever get hurt.
And you have to play. I mean, how many players really actually play more than 20 seasons?
Yeah.
Not a lot of players want to do that. Like LeBron's definitely an outlier because a lot of guys aren't wanting to play even past 15 seasons.
Yeah.
Even if you're one of the best players ever, that's a lot on your body.
Yeah.
And I think the average NBA career is only like 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, that's a lot. I hate the Trae Young pick. If I'm being honest, I hate it. We all know I'm the biggest Trae Young hater.
But that's lame though, because Ethan, it's realistic.
I don't think it's realistic because I don't think he's not going to continue to be the best number one option. I don't think. And I think it's going to be very, very soon that he gets traded and he ends up being a number 2 to number 3 option. And he's not going to be putting up as many points as he does. I think he's a number 3 option on a championship team.
What team? Yeah, to who?
Trae Young is, man, listen.
You're naming a hypothetical team that has like Jason Tatum and Joel Embiid. Like,
go to the team. Let's go to the team. Boston.
Yeah,
you could argue be 2. You could argue he'll be above Jaylen Brown.
I think
that's an argument, but still, then but still, what are the odds of Boston even going to get him?
I'm saying if he's the number 3, that's a really, really. I mean, that's like a really, really good number 3. Is what I'm trying to say.
Ethan, I think number 3. That's the best team ever.
No, it's not. Okay. He's number 3 on the Lakers.
But that's the Lakers. It's Trae Young and that's LeBron and AD. Of course, he's going to be the third. What are we even talking? What is?
He's the number 3 in Phoenix.
He's number 4 in Phoenix. I think Brad Beal's a little better than him.
But Beal.
So you're talking about this is what I'm saying.
But Beal. But
he's at number 3 in New Orleans.
No, he's 2.
Okay,
might be even 1.
He's at number 3 on the Clippers.
No. He's better than Zion.
I don't think. What?
Zion hasn't played.
You don't think he's better than the fucking jambalaya man?
Okay. You know what? Maybe. Okay, maybe. He's a number 3 in. I guess he's number 3 in Milwaukee, but that's not really good fitting.
Yeah.
He's a number 3 in Minnesota.
Okay. But
I just named half the playoff teams.
No, but Ethan, but if you put him on any of these teams and say Trae Young be the third option, they're the best team ever.
They're not the best team ever.
Ethan, that's because think about it, that's like at least
they would be a championship team probably. Yeah,
Ethan, they'd be one of the greatest teams ever because that's the passing ability of Trae Young as your third person and the scoring ability of Trae Young, catch and shoot ability of Trae Young. Ethan, that's the best team ever. If you put him with Ant and Cat, you're shooting the fucking air out the ball every single night.
That would be a great team.
And plus, you get the passing ability of him. So you're going to get a lot of lobs for Gobert. You're going to get a lot of lobs for everyone on the team. I mean, that's like if you think about what team were you telling me to be the third option? That's a playoff team, already a contender.
But you got to
not the best.
Not the best. There literally is a system around him. He is the system over there in Atlanta. He wouldn't be the system at a lot of the other.
He'd be a point guard though. He's still bringing the ball up the court. He still would have a lot of autonomy as far as the offense goes.
I know, but I think as far as the offense goes, he'd be having to change. I think he'd have to change his game up a lot later on in his career because I don't think how he plays now with his skill set is gonna lead a championship win in winning basketball. It leads to some winning basketball, but not
some players never win.
Okay.
I mean, he might just be one of them motherfuckers that never wins.
Fair enough. I think I'm hating a little bit too much on Trae Young right now. But yeah, I guess I see where you're coming from, but I don't think that's gonna happen.
It is a long shot because I mean he's still got to score 30,000 points in 15 years, and that's
yeah.
I mean, it still seems a little. Basically, LeBron has had like 4 Hall of Fame careers, like 2 Hall of Fame careers. It's like you have to be able to have like crazy longevity.
Like 4. No, you're right. Probably like 4 Hall of Fame careers.
Yeah, it's like you have to have insane longevity, insane consistency playing. As much you need to be playing. Insane luck, honestly, not getting hurt. A lot of stuff has to go your way. My real answer to this question was nobody will ever do it again, or at least not in our lifetimes. But You know.
Yeah, I doubt it. Unless maybe they had like a 4-point line one day or something. I don't think it happens.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, how far away are we from the 4-point line? So
I don't think that ever happens.
Yeah, exactly. So they've been talking about it. I just would hate it. I would hate to see it.
I would hate it too. That just makes basketball for youth basketball even worse.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's all we got for today.
Before we wrap it up, Ethan, how do you feel about Russ breaking his hand?
Oh yeah, we didn't mention that. Scotty Barnes as well. Get well soon, Scotty Barnes. Yeah. But yeah, that's tough. I don't know how long he's going to be out. They didn't really tell us. The Clippers are always weird with their telling how long their player's going to be out, but definitely hurts. Russ has been really, really good for us this season. But I'm just hoping he's able to come back for the playoffs. I'm just going to assume no more regular season.
Yeah,
because fracture / breaks in your hand. That's
serious.
I'm going to assume no more regular season for him. I'm like same with Scotty. They both had a left. It was both the left hand fracture for both of them. And I'm assuming Scotty's not playing anymore this season. The Raptors, they aren't competing for much anyway. They're 12th seed. But yeah, Russ, I think he honestly might be done. But I feel like they're really gonna try to push him to get him back in the playoffs because we need him in the playoffs if we want to really make a push because he's a big part of that bench. So we need him if we want to make a deep run. So I'm hoping he can come back at least for the second round. But I don't want him to rush it either. If it's something that I don't want him to have to try to play through something just because he's trying to get a championship and mess something up in the longer run because he's not a young guy anymore. He doesn't have that much longer left. So
that's a good answer.
Yep. But anything else, boys?
I think that's it. Unless Jalil has a sick, horny shout out.
Oh, it's not even. Shout out Hannah Hill Doggo and Caitlin Clark for breaking records this past week.
Yeah, no, those are good shout outs. That's normal people shout outs, not shout out Eastern Tennessee State women's volleyball. No, those are normal. Those are normal.
That's a good shout outs. I do have one more thing. I saw a post. We don't know how Kyle Kuzma said, it's just don't be that team when it comes to the Pistons. Well, I know the Wizards are worse than the Pistons right now.
Yes.
They're lower seed. And they're on I don't know how many games it is, but they're on a big losing streak right now.
Yeah, it's a lot.
And apparently, if they didn't win in February, the Wizards didn't, and if they were to keep this pace up, how many games was it that the Pistons lost in a row? 28, right?
29. They lost.
29?
Yeah. I think it was 29. I think they lost. They won when it's about to be the 30th.
Maybe
28 or 29, regardless.
I think it was actually 28, but it rounds out to where if the Wizards keep continuing this historic losing, and they get to 28 losses in a row, guess who that 29th game would be against?
The Pistons.
The Pistons. And I'm tuning into that game and watching the whole thing. If that were to happen,
that is the masterpiece. That is the.
I mean, that's better than an NBA Finals game 1.
Honestly.
So I'm hoping for that. I'm hoping for the downfall of the Wizards, and that just because I'm never even been a big Kuzma fan anyway, especially when he was on the Lakers. So I'm hoping the Wizards continue to lose, and then for that 29th game, they go with the Pistons and K drops 50s or something on them. So. A little random, but I wanted to mention that.
Nah, yeah, for sure. Also, the Wizards, just like, if you're a Wizards fan out there, like, bro, what do you have to look forward to? They don't have their pick. They don't have anything. They drafted Johnny Davis 2 years ago. He might legitimately be worse than Killian Hayes. You lucky we not talking about you because he's really not good.
He is worse than Killian Hayes. It's because it's because Killian Hayes actually got a good amount of playing time.
Exactly.
Johnny Davis just hasn't even gotten that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, so a lot of stuff going on.
They'll be in our state. They'll be in our state. They're relocating to Virginia.
Exactly. So, I low-key have to claim them in a little bit, and like obviously like as like a little side team. The team that's close to you, I feel like you want to see them do good.
Yeah, but you want to be able to go watch good basketball.
Yeah, exactly. But they just suck so bad.
I won't be taking that couple-hour drive to go see them.
No,
I'll tell you that much.
Hell no.
Not until they pick up the next Victor Wembanyama, whoever that is.
They gotta wait a year because they don't even have their pick.
Man.
Yeah, they're all bad.
Yeah, that's tough. But I hope you all enjoyed the video, man. Make sure y'all like the video, subscribe if you're all new. Go ahead and go over to our Instagram and TikTok. Follow us over there. We got content coming out over there, and we'll see y'all next week. Y'all got anything?
Nah, I'm good.
All right, y'all. Well, thank y'all for watching. Peace.